You know who it is, and you know what time it is. Time to piss off some feminists, trad cucks, and whoever don't want to know the truth. Oh well, let's get started. What is going on, gents? It's R.P.M. here, breaking the curfew and the stay-at-home order to report from mobile command. Black Pill Radio has been bringing the heat with the articles that he's been dropping in the comment section as of late. And I love it. Now, this article was published on the 6th of December. Why the pandemic is causing spikes in breakups and divorces. Gentlemen, our good buddy, Charlie 19, has killed more relationships than it has people. And this is a great time, gentlemen. This is a wonderful time. If a woman in your life has left you, she has done you the greatest favor possible. Divorce rates are increasing around the world, and relationship experts warn the pandemic-induced breakup curve may not have peaked yet. There you go. There you go. Particularly for you married men out there. You are definitely under the sword of Damocles right now. Now I'm going to read a few paragraphs of this article because it's pretty long, and it's also written from sort of a female point of view. But there are always lessons to be gleaned from articles like this when you read between the lines. After 7 years of marriage, 29-year-old Sophie Turner and her husband filed for divorce. They'd never discussed splitting up before the pandemic, but during the pandemic, their marriage soured. Quote unquote. I was more stressed, and it was all just building up, and we decided maybe for a trial separation, says Turner, a support worker for Children's Social Services in Suffolk, England. Very quickly, we realized that it was going to be more permanent than that. Come on now. A child social worker? Fellas, and I do mean fellas, do not get married to women like this. Because guess what's going to happen? She's going to go right on the government dime afterwards. But if she does leave, no matter how much it costs you, you've gotten rid of the biggest headache and money sink in your life. Their experiences are becoming increasingly common, with divorce applications and breakups skyrocketing across the UK and around the world. Leading British law firm Stewart's logged a 122% increase in inquiries between July and October, compared with the same period last year. Charity Citizens Advice reported a spike in searches for online advice on ending a relationship. In the U.S., a major legal contract creation site recently announced a 34% rise in sales of its basic divorce agreement, with newlyweds who'd gotten married in the previous 5 months making up 20% of sales. Oh, wow. And guess what? If you've gotten married in 2020, yeah, there is no hope for you as a man. You deserve what you get because all of the information is out there as to why marriage is a bad deal for men. So yeah, but at least these people realized ahead of time and decided, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and end this. So not a lot of money being lost there, not a lot of assets, all that stuff. So that's a good thing. That is a very good thing. There's been a similar pattern in China, which had one of the world's strictest lockdowns at the start of the pandemic. The same is true for Sweden, which until recently largely relied on voluntary guidelines to try and slow the spread of Charlie 19. It's old news that the pandemic is affecting many of our core relationships. But lawyers, therapists, and academics are starting to get a clearer understanding of the multiple factors feeding into the Charlie 19 breakup boom and why it looks set to continue into 2021. Fellas, this is wonderful. Because guess what? Guess what? Any guy who has walked away or any woman who has walked away from you, you have set yourself on a great path. Now, what do I mean by that? Financially, psychologically, physically, all of those things that you are giving up to keep that woman around, guess what? It's going to return to you. Yeah. Hell, even me walking away from the meat sack back in March. Now that I've got a second job, I'm finally able to financially put money away. Yeah, I've never been able to save money during this marriage. Never. Always things, got to spend money on this, gas, taking the kids back and forth to school, buying little knickknacks for the house, blah, 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 blah. Now I'm finally able to pay down my debts. Hell, I just finally paid off a long time loan the other day. That felt wonderful. Gentlemen, if you have debts, you can start paying them off. If you have something that you really want to buy, guess what? No one's going to be in your ear saying, you should buy that. You should buy this, blah, 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 blah. No. Think of it as a wonderful escape. If she leaves, say thank you. Be happy that she's left. At law firms, Stewart's partner Carly Kinch describes the pandemic as the quote-unquote perfect storm for couples, with lockdowns and social distancing causing them to spend increased amounts of time together. Now, Coach Greg Adams called this at the very beginning. He said, yes, this is a perfect storm. Why? Because for a lot of couples, work is an escape from home. Yeah. And also, a lot of couples, they were able to have their side relationships as an escape. But with the lockdowns in play, yeah, that kind of went out the window. But hey, those who really wanted to get away, they were going to get away regardless. Anyway, this has in many cases acted as a catalyst for breakups that may already have been on the cards, especially if previous separate routines have served to mask problems. I don't think that the reasons that people are divorcing have necessarily changed. You've always had the underlying current of, I'm unhappy with this or that at home. We know that is typically a female saying, I'm not happy. But I think that it has just brought the focus on domestic arrangements really into much more sharp focus than what we ordinarily would be. Well, you know why that is? Because so many couples want to put forth that public facade of having a quote unquote perfect, loving relationship. See the Reddit post that I covered the other day about the couple who the guy found out that none of his 4 kids were his. And unfortunately, he took himself out of the equation. What was the one thing that the writer said? Their family had a perfect facade. Yeah, what goes on behind closed doors is always a different subject. Kinch says her team wasn't surprised by the surge in divorce applications after England's first national lockdown ended, since breakups usually spiked after families spend longer together, like during school holidays or over Christmas. I think the lockdown is essentially like those prolonged periods, but with enormous added pressures, she says. What's been different is the significant increase in the number of women initiating divorces, with, check this out, gentlemen, 76% of new cases coming from female clients. Boom, beer, me, in the words of Terrence Popp. Compared with 60% a year ago. So, no one can sit there and say, well, women don't file for divorce. Yes, they do. Women file over here in America. 80% of divorces are initiated by women. Now, over in the UK, they just outright said 76% of new divorce cases are filed by women. So, gentlemen, do not get married. Do not enter into a long-term relationship. She's already ready to leave. But here's the silver lining with this. Understand, gentlemen, you are the best she's going to be able to get, especially during these turbulent times. Oh, they think they're going to jump back on the carousel? No. But remember, even in marriage, she is not yours. It's just your turn. When she's ready to return to the streets, let her go. As a matter of fact, help her pack. She believes this trend ties in with the findings of numerous studies of working partners' lives during Charlie 19, which suggest that a disproportionate share of housework and childcare is still falling on women, even in heterosexual couples where the male partner also works from home. Here we go again. Here we go. She adds, I think some people went into lockdown thinking, oh, isn't this going to be lovely? We're going to spend lots of time or quality time together, and my partner, who's normally in the city or commuting, they'll be around and they'll help more. And I think that reality for many has been a far cry from that. You can go ahead and read the rest of this article because it talks about more women and why they decided to go ahead and, pull the cash and prizes lever. I'm not happy. Blah, blah, blah. But I can tell you this, gentlemen. I can tell you this. This is the best time for a woman to leave you. This is the best time. It truly is. Why? Because, as we all know, Justine Trudeau outright said that this is going to be the Great Reset. These women are going to be begging for good men to protect them when things get rough. Gentlemen, if she comes back, you know what to do. Kindly slam the door in her face. Kindly say, yeah, no. Nope. You had your bite at the apple. Guess what? No thanks. As Terrence Popp famously coined, the slingback effect. Oh yeah, gentlemen. Do not be surprised because a lot of guys experienced the hey big head text when things got really hairy. Even me, the meat sack has been, kind of trying to throw a line out there as of late. And I'm just like, no. I told her straight up, if this isn't about the kids, we got nothing to talk about. If this is not about a family get together, we got nothing to talk about. And I left it at that. And pretty much, I don't even respond to text messages about like small things. Oh, how you doing? Nothing. But I will say this. To whatever guy that is dealing with the meat sack, thank you. Thank you. Because I know in the back of your mind, you're going to be catching hell. Overworked, 2 kids at home and the dog, and she's going through menopause. Good luck. Woo! Yes. But fellas, in the end, if your woman leaves, be happy about it. Be happy. The best thing that a toxic woman can do for your life is leave it. Yeah, you might feel sad and this, that, and the other, but think of the peace. That alone is worth it. But also, watch your money start to go up ever so slightly, especially if you're an essential worker. Oh yeah, your money is going to start building on itself. So yeah, in the end, she wants to leave, let her go, help her pack, say thank you. My turn is over. There you go. But read the rest of the article. Let me know what you guys think. And ladies, the power is still metaphorically out. Feminism and the cash and prizes I'm not happy lever is going to eventually go out right along with it. Because moving forward, no man in his right mind is going to marry you. And with all of the information that you ladies have put out on social media, more men are going to be taking the red pill and saying, nope, the most you get from me is casual, occasional, if that. But so far as an actual relationship, that is done. That's all I got to say for this one. R.P.M. I am out.